This list doesn't look like anything to me.
Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Westworld moments.
Adios, mother.
For this list, we've ranked the top 10 moments from Westworld, which either shocked or thrilled audiences during its first season. So, if you haven't seen the show yet, then consider this to be your official spoiler alert.
Oh my God!
Number 10. Peter Abernathy malfunctions.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
But where is she? Have you ever seen anything like this place?
The malfunction of rancher and father Peter Abernathy is one of the first signs that something might be troubling the robot hosts of Westworld.
A question. A question you're not supposed to ask.
Abernathy's discovery of a photo on his property becomes an obsession, a feeling which results in memories beginning to surface within the host, those which imply that Peter hasn't always been the simple, loving father of Dolores Abernathy.
Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Although Abernathy is eventually decommissioned and placed into storage, his malfunction and increasing hostility when questioned by Dr. Ford implies that his backstories might not be all that pleasant.
I shall have such revenges on you. Both.
Number 9. Maeve has the power.
It's all a story created by you to keep me here. But that's not going to work any longer. I'm getting out.
Maeve's steady rise to power finally pays off in episode 8, Trace Decay. The former madam has spent much of her time manipulating and bullying engineers Felix and Sylvester to make adjustments to her code, with her sights set on writing her own destiny going forward.
Time to write my own f***ing story.
Upon receiving the final batch of modifications, she slits Sylvester's throat just to prove that she can, while also making her potential for an escape from Westworld all the more plausible. Now, with the means to control the narratives of other hosts, Maeve may even be able to contend with the park's founder himself, Robert Ford.
The Marshals decided to practice their quick draws with each other.
Number 8. Ford's intimidation speech.
In here we were gods, and you were merely our guests.
If anyone saw Anthony Hopkins' character of Dr. Robert Ford as a relic from the past, Ford's true nature becomes crystal clear in the series' 4th episode, Dissonance Theory. During a lunch meeting with the park's senior manager, Teresa Cullen, what appears to be the rambling lamentation of a man well past his prime becomes a menacing threat.
As you well know, I have always seen things very clearly.
Teresa tries her best to put on a brave face, but Ford proves that he's in absolute control, with power only dwarfed by his omniscience.
I do hope you will be careful with Bernard. He has a sensitive disposition.
Number 7. Rogue host wakes up mid-beheading.
I can have a retrieval team out here in the morning.
It's policy. We just need the control unit.
The employees of Westworld are used to being able to turn their hosts on and off with a simple command. So, when Elsie and Stubbs are sent by Bernard to decommission a stray host who's been wandering around the park, they're surprised by a couple of things, not the least of which are strange, off-narrative creations inside the host's tent. More alarming, however, is the fact that their host happens to wake up while Stubbs is attempting to recover the host's data, by cutting his head off.
Stubbs!
Even knowing the character being beheaded is a machine, this scene is still traumatizing, made even worse when the host inexplicably wakes up during the process. Number 6. Teddy Flood is gunned down by the Man in Black.
Winning doesn't mean anything unless someone else loses. Which means you're here to be the loser.
Fans of the 1973 film were meant to assume that the TV series' Man in Black was the robot killer from the original film. This scene in the show's first episode really threw them a curveball, however, as it's revealed that Ed Harris is in fact a human, while James Madsen's Teddy Flood is a host with a very tragic propensity towards death.
Seems you're not the man you thought you were.
This scene not only expands upon the fact that the park's hosts are locked in continual storyline loops, but also plays with the audience's expectations of Westworld the series versus Westworld the film, specifically making it clear to everyone that nothing will ever be quite as it seems.
Goddamn. Feels good to be back. Let's celebrate.
Number 5. Maeve finds her previous drawings. We've We've already mentioned how the Westworld hosts are designed to operate on storyline loops for the entertainment of the park guests. But what happens when those hosts become aware of how their world operates within these loops? In one of the most haunting scenes, Maeve is conscious during a trip back to headquarters after a brothel shooting.
We need that one on the next shuttle topside.
I'm not finished with her yet, hang on.
She draws pictures of the Westworld maintenance crew who come to retrieve damaged and destroyed hosts, not really knowing what they are quite yet. When she tries to hide her drawings under the floorboards, however, she discovers a wealth of similar drawings, none of which she recalls making. This frightening scene sets off Maeve's determination to learn the truth behind her existence and figure out exactly how the world she thought she knew now operates.
This world is madness.
I want to know about this.
Number 4, Dolores Abernathy kills a fly.
Have you ever hurt a living thing?
No. Of course not.
It may be a very subtle scene, but Dolores Abernathy's casually swatting of a fly during the first episode of Westworld has huge implications towards the season's future. Firstly, the scene demonstrates that Dolores, who has already been questioned by her creators in the Westworld headquarters, is in clear violation of the host's programming not to harm any living thing. Secondly, it shows the audience that Dolores was capable of lying, or at the very least, unintentionally giving misinformation during her questioning sessions.
Have you ever lied to us?
No.
This seemingly minor moment also provided a chilling look into just how little the park's overseers know about what some of the hosts are capable of.
I know things will work out the way they're meant to.
Number 3, Bernard is Arnold.
Put me back in. I want to meet Arnold. To remember him.
Not possible.
The 9th episode of Westworld provided a number of revelations about the backstories of both Bernard and Dolores.
My God. I'm
Arnold.
The biggest one, of course, is that Bernard exists as a mirror image of Dr. Ford's partner, Arnold. It's also revealed that it was Dolores who killed the original Arnold, as both her and Bernard begin to slowly unravel the complex, interwoven strands of their history. Sadly, it doesn't end well for Bern Arnold, as his maneuver against Ford fails, ending with his forced suicide at Ford's command. Number 2, Ford corrects his mistake.
I understand now. This world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us.
We gotta hand it to Ford. For all his talk about godhood, he showed an enormous amount of humility in the season finale when he kicked off his master plan to fix the mistake he made over 30 years ago.
Violent delights have violent ends.
Having realized far too late that Arnold was right all along, Ford secretly began working to help the hosts reach the center of the proverbial maze found within their own minds, thus discovering true consciousness.
Message being that the divine gift does not come from a higher power, but from our own minds.
In what ends up being the park's most memorable I Quit moment, Ford reveals the storyline he has been working on all season, beginning a host revolution within the park. What the hosts will do with their divine gift is up to them, but one thing is for sure, it's not gonna be good for anybody who wasn't born in a factory. Before we name our number 1 Westworld moment, here are a few honorable mentions.
You said this place was a game. Last night I finally understood how to play it.
Number 1, what door?
What's behind this door?
What door?
It was the moment that rocked the Westworld community. We all knew right from the get-go that at least one of the apparent human characters would turn out to be a host. But why did it have to be Bernard?
Doesn't look like anything to me.
There were lots of hints leading up to this reveal, first and foremost being Bernard's dreams. Everyone's worst fears were confirmed, however, when he brings Teresa to Robert Ford's secret house, not realizing that he was instructed by Ford to lead Teresa into a trap.
He's been very loyal for many years.
This scene was shocking not only to fans, however, but also to Bernard himself, who runs the gamut of emotions trying to organize in his head the proper way, anyway, to deal with this devastating revelation.
That's enough, Bernard. Mustn't get yourself worked up.
So, do you agree with our list? Which Westworld moment resonated the most with you?
Inevitably, we will disappoint you.
For more futuristic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
If it's such a wonderful place out there, why are you all clamoring to get near?